Okay, what's up everybody? The infinite amount of questions that I have has just grown to the next level. Episode 16 not only kind of gave us some perspective to a lot of things that's going on inside the world, it introduced a lot of questions. And when I mean a lot of questions, I mean an infinite amount of questions that I don't even have the answer to, and I am still, for right now, still basically absorbing everything that happened with the episode. Let me start at the end of the episode and then we'll kind of work our way back. So the one thing that is unequivocally confirmed is that the Demon Lord 15 years ago already existed. So that's one thing that we know of for sure, is that the Demon Lord already existed. Now we don't know 15 years forward if there's any kind of tomfoolery going on. You know, can one of her minds take her over? You know, can Kumoko overcome the Demon Lord, and can she absorb her essence? Can she become her? Can she imitate her? We don't know any of that. So there's still a chance in the future that Kumoko is still controlling the Demon Lord, or is the Demon Lord in some way, shape, or form. But we know regardless that the Demon Lord, as we know her, does exist in the past. And she exists to the point to where she has learned of the existence of Kumoko, and she has now come for that ass. Which I think is just ridiculous and crazy, considering that our poor girl just got blown to smithereens and pieces. I mean, like, there was Kumoko everywhere, which is just nuts, because one of her brains learned about the Demon Lord's existence. So they were thinking the whole time that Mama Kumoko was the top of the food chain. And we knew that, you know, mostly not to be true. But because we've been dealing so much with the past and the present, we have the present Demon Lord currently. We just didn't know if those two lines intersected, or if there was some kind of evolutionary path that kind of led to where we are now. But that seems to not be the case. It does 100% seem to be that the Demon Lord was already in existence, and it doesn't seem like the Demon Lord specifically, and this is unknown, it doesn't seem like the Demon Lord is a part of the class, but she very well could be, because there's two things that were super important that we learned. We learned that Admin D was in fact part of the classroom. She was the 26th student. So that's super important. And we also learned that Kumoko came to this world first, in a sense, right? They all kind of got reincarnated, but it seems that Kumoko was like first on that list. So there is a small chance that the Demon Lord is somebody in that class as well. And that could be a fellow student of Kumoko. So there is a chance there. We're going to learn more as, you know, the season kind of marches towards the 24th episode. And I hope it all comes to conclusion, considering we're getting so close. We're only like 8 weeks away from the conclusion of this amazing, amazing anime. But that's kind of where we left off on the episode, was being blown to smithereens. Thank God she's immortal now, which is super, super duper important that her immortality has been achieved, because if not, yo, homegirl's dead right now. But we know now that she cannot die. So the one thing about that too, about her immortality, is that her teacher, right, again, we're assuming that 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐵 is in fact Kumoko. Her teacher said that 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐵 is unequivocally dead. Now we don't know if that means that like right now she just died, but because she's immortal she didn't die. We don't know if that's what that means or what the hell. But, you know, her teacher has said a bunch of times that she is dead, and that's kind of what we've been perceived to believe, is that she is dead. So we're thinking that, yo, Kumoko didn't make it. We're also thinking that Kumoko and her are one and the same. So that's super important. The other piece of it, too, that I want to throw in the mix is the fact that Admin D was presented to us again for this episode, and she really dove in, and I'm going to go over it, but she dove into what the hell happened and how they got here. But one thing that was super important about Admin D was that she was the 26th student, and she might have been the specific reason that the classroom blew up and that they were reincarnated. So my first initial gut reaction and gut thoughts were, what the hell does that mean? How could you have been an admin of this world prior to what happened between the hero and the Demon Lord, right? So my first gut reaction, and I could be totally off base, is that this might have been like some kind of video game world. So she might have been in Japan, and she might have been like an administrator, kind of like a lot of people are, kind of like an admin or a mod on this video game world. But the one question that keeps looming to me as I kind of, pan out and flatten out this theory is, how could these two entities in a game have come out and transcended or affected the world? Is there something that happened that kind of made this world come into existence that kind of transcended the code and the C++ and all the other crap? Like, could that have happened? Could this game have become into existence and then their actions affected? Because Admin D specifically said one thing was that I could have been the reason that our classroom was targeted. And I think that is super duper important. So that means that she was a pre-existing administrator, right? So the fact that she could have been the target of that, I think is just ridiculous and crazy. The other thing is that the hero and the demon lord, they transcended their teleportation, their whatever they were doing, their magic kind of expanded beyond the walls of this contained world, and it bled into uncontrollably into Japan, which is the reason that they're here, which is they all died and then they got reincarnated. But Admin D was the one that was able to collect and save their souls to put them back into bodies, into the students, and allow them skills into this world so that way they could survive. So this is all just mind-blowingly crazy, and I just have so many continuation questions, much like Kumoko did. She has so many follow-up questions for her as well. So I just think that is all nuts and crazy, and I was just like, oh my god, like there's just so much that we don't know. And the one thing that I want to pause right here and say is this freaking anime is so good. It's so much better than it has any right to be. Like, even though there has been some lacking animation, even though the end of this episode, our demon lord looking a little less hot than normal because she was, instead of being drawn, she was like 3D for some ass reason. Like, it was just, she looked a little ass, okay? But regardless, like, this anime is still better than it has any right to be. And I just love every episode. I'm just so ridiculously invested. Like, I just love it so much. Last thing I'll kind of touch on that occurred within the episode was we saw 𝐒𝐿, his party, them entering the Great Labyrinth. We saw Faye finally being able to take on like a humanoid form, which, oh my god, dragon waifu alert. Beep, 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 beep. Like, the fact that we got our dragon waifu now, and there's something between her and 𝐒𝐿. I love that. I love seeing that. I love seeing her little wings. They're so cute. She kind of reminds me of the girl from Shield Hero. Like, I love her look. I love the way that she looks. I love that she has a very similar look to how she looked in the real world, which means that 𝐒𝐿 was attracted to her in the real world, which is a crazy thought too. And then his best friend, even though his best friend was a guy before, he's now a girl. It's just kind of the way it is. He's been spending 15 years. And he is what he is now. He might be a little jealous of what 𝐒𝐿 and Faye have. At least that's kind of what they're alluding to. Whether that actually ends up being the case, I have no idea. But it looks like there's something there, because you have to remember, like, these people, like, between 𝐒𝐿, his best friend, between Faye, like, they're so close, right? Like, you just don't know if it's jealousy, if it's what, you don't know what it is, but there's something there. At least there's something that they're alluding to. But they're making their way into the Great Labyrinth right now, and that's kind of where we left off. So we're going to see on what that entails for them. They've already spotted the water dragon, or a water dragon. Kumoko spotted a water dragon as well. She was fishing. Definitely not the same water dragon, because she just yeeted and deleted and killed that dragon. So we know that the dragon in the past is not the one in the future. But man, what an episode, guys. Like, this, I'm telling you, this anime just continues to impress me, and I just continue to just thoroughly enjoy every single episode. Like, this anime is like a 12 out of 10. Like, I love it so much. Like, I'm so excited for next week. I'm so excited to begin unweaving all of these complicated ass threads that they've been kind of just throwing us constantly, and seeing what the anime brings next, guys. But if you guys have any speculations and thoughts and theories, not the spoilers, I know the light novel readers, I know you guys, you got it, you know what's happening. But everybody else who's not, Let me know what your guys' thoughts, theories, and speculations are in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you think's gonna happen next and everything else? And for everybody else who knows what's gonna happen, if you are gonna put a spoiler, don't let me see it. Just put spoilers, give me a warning, and put it at the bottom so that other people who want to talk about what they already know and how the anime is reflecting kind of the manga or light novel, they can interact with you and have those conversations. But make sure I don't see, because I don't want to be spoiled on anything. If I do happen to see or begin reading some kind of spoiler, or if I see a name, a lot of times you guys throw in names and I don't know who you're talking about, I automatically just hide it. So if you wanted me to respond, I won't even see it. So just letting you guys know that now. But thank you guys for joining another video, guys. I have so many questions still. All of what I wanted to talk about. This is a super long video already. All of what I wanted to talk about, I haven't been able to talk about because there's just so much more. I could probably talk about this for like the next 20 minutes, like no joke. But I'm going to go back. I'll watch it again. And she's immortal. She has a new form. She's going to get another new form. Demon Lord's here. Faye looks like a boo-boo waifu. Like, so much stuff. Guys, love that you guys are here. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys subscribe and like before you leave, guys. Watch our full reaction right here to today's episode. Video below, YouTube says best for you. We'll see you next week for So I'm a Spider. So peace out, guys.